The law of reap and sow teaches us that whatever we sow in this world, then shall we reap. That means whatever we contribute, if we work hard, then shall we be rewarded for it. But many people, thousands of people, have worked really hard, contributed to others, and they have next to nothing to show for it, when we have the other people that seem to have contributed very little and have gotten a lot back. It doesn't seem fair, and that unfairness can take us into the next pit hole of seeing ourselves as a victim. So let's have a look at this wonderful law that we've been given of reap and sowing. Perhaps we're not applying it correctly. A rich man said to me recently, "You see, Carole, all what I've got, millions of pounds, I earned that, and that's just proven that if you sow, so shall you reap." But that wasn't true, and I reminded him that all that he'd been given actually was from his parents. The house that he lived in was built freely on their land, and he didn't pay for a mortgage like some people do. Of course, he didn't really want to speak to me after that. But he was going along the old broken programs of sowing and reaping. And yet, the Bible tells us this wonderful verse that we should get things back. I'm going to say about the word karma. Karma means to come back. And so I've noticed people that I speak to that are rich, they'll say, well, we deserve it. Of course, they won't put it in those terms, but they'll smirk and say that, poor people are poor because they haven't contributed to this life, or their karma from another life has caught up with them. But that's not true or fair either, because what is happening here is that people who are typically poor in this world have been born from poverty thinking. That means they were born into this world with the program put in their subconscious mind of poverty thinking. They think lack, and so they can work really hard here in this world, in this third dimensional world, but they have a program of lack, when really they should remove that program and reinstall it, upgrade it to the program, the mantra of plenty. And so my question is, if you're working really hard and not seeing a reward for it, what land are you sowing and reaping in? We are taught from Galatians that whoever sows to please the flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. And yet, whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. So what does that mean about consciousness and the world we're living in? Well, the first part of that lesson is that if we're thinking of sowing in the third dimensional world, the land of the flesh, then we won't reap the rewards of the Spirit. The Spirit lives in the subconscious mind and in the superconscious mind, and that is where we should be sowing first. So not sowing here in the world, but sowing in our subconscious mind. That is the garden that you should till. That's where to place grain. That's where you have been engrained. And so we can now have a look. If we go back to our subconscious mind and remove all the programming that never served any of us, and reprogram the subconscious mind with imagination and intuition, go back to spirit, and spirit shall serve thee. And what that means is go back to your subconscious mind and see your life from there first, and then see what manifests here in the world of what appears to be imbalance. You'll see miracles happen. And I shall restore to thee the years that the locusts have eaten.